Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And today we are doing a review for the Disney Pixar movie that just came out, Luca. And as you can see, it is two different people joining me on this review. Rebellious D isn't here, Trav isn't here, so I can't say always joining me as always, or my co-host Trav and Rebellious D. Instead, it's two of my good friends who I have had on the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks channel before, and that is the Enduring Sunflower and Becca. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. I'm excited to talk about Luca, man.
Me too.
I don't know about you guys. Have you guys watched it multiple times?
I've only watched it one time.
Just one.
I watched it 4 times in 2 days.
Jeez, Louise. Well, hey,
God.
there's gonna be a lot of talking about it tonight. So before we get into this review for Luca, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And as D always says, podcast link in the description. So let's go ahead and get into it. Becca, I'll let you start first since you've seen this movie 4 times. How did you feel about the movie when it was first announced? And like, what was your thought process on it? Like, were you hyped and excited to see this movie when you first saw it?
I wasn't ready. And even like watching it the first time, I wasn't ready. Like, it's one of those things where the more I watch it, the more I fall in love with it. And I was not expecting that at all based off of that the initial trailers, the initial title card. I didn't know what I was walking into. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cute. Found out that it was the same creator who did the Pixar short La Luna. Mm-hmm. And that one was really cute. And there's some influence in the style for this one, but I feel like they really dug a lot deeper and they pulled out things. And like I said, I didn't even catch everything the first time I watched it. It took a couple of times to watch it to catch more and fall deeper in love and fall deeper into the story. So I think that's a great testament to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sunflower?
I watched the trailer and I was really excited about it because it looked really cute and very different. I really love the art style, the animation to it. So yeah, when I watched it with my friend Heaven, we were just like could not stop talking about how cute it is, and just it was overall just a really good movie, really enjoyable too.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what both of you guys said. For me, I didn't watch the trailer for this movie. I think that I had saw, I guess, like an ad on TV or something, and I was just like, oh, okay, like this movie looks cool. And because again, like I say this on the podcast and on all of the reviews that we do here on the channel, like I really don't watch a lot of trailers for movies or TV shows anymore because I'd rather be surprised when I see it compared to watching a trailer, and some trailers, they give too much away. So I had hit Becca up and I had asked her if she was going to watch it, and she talked with me about it a little bit. And I watched the movie yesterday, and when I watched it, like I fell in love with it. I thought that the animation was beautiful. Like the animation, it looks so lifelike. Like even when I was looking at the still images for the background slideshow that I have up here, I was just like, man, it's just like this. It looks so real, but it's 3D animation, and it's just crazy how far, when Pixar started with Toy Story to see where they are now, where everything just feels so lifelike. And the movie overall, it was really good. I loved the messages that they had in this movie, especially between Luca and Alberto. And then when they meet their friend, is it Julia?
Yeah, it's Julia.
Yeah, okay, just wanted to make sure I said her name right. But yeah, when they met her, and I was telling Sunflower about this, that I love that there wasn't like a love story in this movie, because, in a lot of movies that we had growing up, it was always, boy meets girl, boy rescues girl, and then like they kiss at the end of the movie. Whereas with this, it's just a story of 3 friends who want to see each other succeed. And that's one of the things that I loved about this. What about you, Sunflower?
Yeah, I actually really like the focus on the friendship, especially the relationship between the two boys, Alberto and Luca, and how it growed throughout the movie. So, and then them becoming, of course, the trio together. So I really liked that they were the focus. It was just kids just having fun together.
Nice. Becca?
Yeah, I know that some people try to like, I guess, project relationships onto the characters, but from what I've read, the writer and creator of the story, like he really wanted to focus on these like prepubescent, like childhood friendships because he based it off of his own personal experience, his own friendships when he was that age. So it was really cute that they, didn't go down the like romance. I think that it's really healthy to see the friendships and how they, as kids they develop very naturally, very quickly, but at the same time, as kids, they don't necessarily have the language or like know themselves well enough to call themselves out when they're doing something that might be hurtful to the other. And so like they learn a lot throughout the story, and it's really sweet to see their development, not just in their friendships, but also the relationships they have with their parents.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you on that. I also saw those statements as well, where some fans, they were trying to project how they felt about Luca and Alberto, and felt that they were a couple. And like how you just said, like they're just little boys, you know what I'm saying? Me and Trav, we actually had this conversation where, because he had told me like Anthony Mackie, he had got under a lot of fire because fans, they wanted him and Bucky to be a couple. And it's just like, nah, like they're just two really good friends. And I don't know, I feel like we live in this day and age where it's like, if the fans don't get what they want, then they just trash something. And, you have to, as a fan, you just have to enjoy something for what it is. Like if there is something there, then that's cool. If it's organic, then that's cool. But it's just like, you can't sit there and want something and then bash the creators when it doesn't come true. And I love that in this movie, like how you said, it's just the story of three friends that are just trying to do the things that they want to do in life. Because remember, like with Luca, he was always told never go to the surface. If you go to the surface, something bad is going to happen to you. And then when Alberto comes down to the sea and comes to pick up his stuff, and then he brings Luca to the surface with him, I thought that it was cool that when these sea monsters come up to the surface, they become humans. And it just made me think that, well, how many other sea monsters have gone up to the surface and they've been walking amongst us this entire time, but we don't even know, because it's like when they come to the surface, they're humans. Sunflower, like, what were your thoughts on the whole transformation of the sea monsters when they came up to land?
I thought the transformation was really cool, and I also liked the little montage of him teaching them how to be more human. I thought that was really cute, and it just really was like, I just really liked it. Like, good animation, as I said, it's beautiful to look at. And I like when they come out of the water, sometimes like they revert like human back to sea monster. I just really like the transition there a lot too.
Becca?
I've never seen a transformation scene that was as fluid and seamless as it was in this movie. Because you do have a lot of different transformation stories, and I'm a huge fan of, any story that involves a transformation, Beauty and the Beast, Shrek, like anything that has something of that element, the Song of the Sea. There's a lot of stories about sea creatures that are able to like come to the surface, but I've never seen the animation be as seamless, because they were just like transforming parts, like you almost don't even notice when they're changing over. And even when they're underwater, the way that they move so fluid, the animation is so on point with that movement and that transition, even like coming in and out of the water, transforming partially or fully back and forth. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you guys on that. I thought it was cool when they were at Julia's house, and we find out that her father Marco is this. He's like the best fisherman in town, and he's encountered the sea monsters. Well, he hasn't encountered them, but he's seen them out in the sea, and like the whole dynamic of Luca and Alberto just being in there and trying not to get caught, because it's like they're at death's front door right now. And one of the things I loved about like this whole scene was when the cat had saw Alberto, he half his face was the sea monster again, and I was just like, yo, like I love this cat. I want to get a plush of this.
Great.
Yeah, the cat was great. Like he just kept on looking at him and purring, and it was just awesome. That whole scene. And when we first see Marco, and you think that the reason why he lost his arm was because of the sea monster, but then we find out that he was born like that. And I feel like that is a good representation of people who are born differently and are born without, full body parts and stuff like that. Because it's like you really don't see that much representation of amputees in like cartoons or movies. And I just think that it's a good thing to have that representation out there. I just love like with a lot of stuff that is coming out nowadays, like there is representation for everyone out there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I said, like that whole scene, it was fun. I loved the relationship between Marco and Alberto, and how, by him being with Alberto and just having him out there on the boat with him, and Alberto being in love with his food and everything, and how we see at the end of the movie where it's like the villagers are ready to attack them, and Marco walked up and he's just like, no, these guys are the winner. And it's just like everybody was ready to kill the monsters, and like he gave everybody that look, and they all stepped down. And like I had told Sunflower earlier, I just love that this movie, it shows you that you can be different and you can come together as one as one people, and you can still like the same things, and you can still enjoy the same activities. Like Sunflower, like what was your takeaway on just the whole thing of being a different species and still coming together as one and enjoying the same things?
Well, basically with that, it's just I really like that when Marcus stepped up for them and everyone just backed down, as you said, and they just like finally realized, like, at the end of the day, they're like us. I mean, they may look different, but they are still like us, and I really like how they show that, basically.
Mm-hmm. Becca?
Marco, I loved him so much. Like, I love that he just embraced these children and like took them under his wing as if they were his own, even like practically adopting Alberto, which is exactly what he needed. He needed that, loving father figure who was like looking out for him, even when he wasn't even like noticing how much this man cared about him and, these friendships. It was really, really beautiful to see that relationship. And I love that Luca's grandmother even made a point that, like, not everyone is going to be able to accept, Luca and accept the sea monsters as they are. But the important thing was that he knows how to find the good ones. He knows how to find the good people who are going to look out for him, who are going to like accept him and bring him into their community and care for him. And I think that was a great point because, as you said, a lot, there's a focus on coming together, but you also know that as the world's changing and people are adapting to things that they're not used to, there's always going to be somebody who's going to, resist and still want to be stuck in their old ways and not accept their differences. But there are people who are going to be able to see you, truly see you. Like, that was something that was really great, that Marco was able to like look at them in their sea monster form and recognize the children that he's come to love and be like, these are, these are Luca and Bruno. They're the winners, and they're my daughter's best friends, and I'm gonna protect them. And the town accepted that. They accepted him, and there was only like a few people who were like, but no, they're still sea monsters. And it's like, so what? Mm-hmm. Clearly they're not a threat.
Yeah, they're not. Like they're not there to hurt anybody. They just want to, walk on land and just enjoy the same things that the humans can enjoy. And I'm pretty sure that it would be the same thing if they were to come down into the water. They would come down there and like they would see that the sea monsters aren't that bad. You know what I'm saying? To piggyback off of something that you had said, Becca, when you were saying that like there were some people who they would resist the change. Like we had Urkel, and how he wanted to kill them. You know what I'm saying? And when we saw the scene where Alberto and Luca, where they had took Julia down to where the ocean was at, and Alberto, he hops in the water and he shows her like, hey, this is what I really look like. Like that whole scene, it was sad to me because it's like, Luca and Alberto, they're friends, and Alberto, like Luca just left him hanging. But at the same time, it's like, Luca was scared because Luca, he wanted to do more. Like Alberto, he wanted to have fun. He wanted to go on adventures, while Luca, he wanted to learn. And like that scene, it was emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like there wasn't too many scenes in the movie that made me just go like, oh man, but that was one of them. And Becca, like, how did that scene make you feel?
Oh my God, that was such a painful scene. Like I definitely understand Luca, being a child and being afraid. He's always been timid, but that did feel like a huge betrayal. He like outs him as a sea monster as if he himself is not also a sea monster. Mm-hmm. And poor Alberto was already like dealing with abandonment issues, So mm-hmm. to like have the abandonment topped by betrayal of like his best friend, like, he's been looking out for the whole time. He's very, very much attached to Luca.
Yep.
Even to the point of getting, very jealous, and being very protective of him. But yeah, poor Luca. Mm-hmm. Like he's just a little boy. Like I think it's so cute that like they decided to tell the story of like children at this age, because they are so little. And underdeveloped. They don't know themselves, they don't know how to express, or make always the best decisions for their lives. So it's good to get to see the natural growth for them throughout the film. And I was gonna make another point, that Ercole, he is definitely like 17 years old or something, harassing these 10-year-olds on the island. Like, why? What is wrong with you?
Because he doesn't want to grow up. It's one of those things where it's just like he's getting older, but it's like he wants to still have this power over kids that are younger than him. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we already know that the kids that are older than him, it's like they treat him just like how he treats the other kids. And I'm glad that at the end of the movie that his two subordinates, they were just like, you know what, we're gonna do what we should have did the whole time, and that's throw you in the trash. Well, they didn't throw him in the trash. They threw him into the fountain. But it was still cool. But Sunflower, I wanted to ask you, like, what were your thoughts on that whole scene where Alberto, he revealed that he was a monster, and Luca was just like, oh wow, look, it's a monster.
So when me and my friend were watching that, we gasped. Like, we were really shocked that he denied him like that. Like, I wasn't even considering that Luca was gonna do that. I thought maybe he would, like, Alberto would just like swim away and he would just call out to him. But yeah, it tugged at my heart, because you can definitely see the betrayal like in his face. Like he feels so defeated, because I know Luca was scared, so I understand his reasoning behind it. But yeah, that scene made me really sad. It really did.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of what you just said, while the scene it was sad, I'm glad that when Luca did go to Alberto to talk with him, like Alberto didn't, hold that as a grudge against Luca. You know what I'm saying? It's like at the end of the day, like he understood why Luca wanted to do what he was trying to do, but at the same time, Alberto didn't want to lose his best friend because they had grew this bond, kind of like how Becca had said, where it's like they were doing all of this stuff together. They worked on the
That's
like the little they worked on that together, and they wanted to enter this tournament so that way that they could get one, so that they could travel the world. And I just love that they came together at the end, the three of them, Julia as well, and they entered the contest, the Porto Rosso Cup, and they ended up winning it. And I just like the whole message of this movie of just being different, and it's okay. We can all like the same things. We can all work together. People changing their opinions over time by being friends with people who are different than them. It's just the whole message of this movie it's just cool. And I'm looking forward to if they do come out with a sequel. Sunflower, I'll ask you first and I'll ask you, Becca. If they do come out with a sequel to this movie, where would you like the series to go?
Yeah, I actually had this talk with my friend after we watched it. I think it would be pretty cool, like if they did like a little bit of a time skip, maybe like 10 years or maybe like in between like 8 to 10, and like Luca's just like coming out of like I don't know how old they are in the movie.
When I think they're like maybe 13 or something.
You think
I assumed that they were like 10 in the movie.
10. Okay, 10. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe like between 8 years or so, like he's just like coming out of high school or something like that, or just like them meeting again, like when they're like adults or like teenagers at least.
Yeah.
You just like see like where they are from there, like with Luca and going to school and what he has learned, and then Alberto with his relationship with Marco and how that's going as well. Like I would really like to see more of that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Becca, your thoughts? Like, how would you like to see if there is a sequel to the movie?
Personally, I don't need a sequel because I think the sequels are overrated. But like, unless they're really done well, like I love this film a lot. But I wouldn't want a sequel unless they have a really good story to tell, like how they, made sure that they didn't do The Incredibles 2 unless they had a story to tell. Mm-hmm. But I liked that in the ending of this movie, they do point out, like, even though the kids are remaining best friends and still remaining close, they both needed different things for their lives and are able to go their separate ways. And then after the movie ended, in the credits, you see a lot of the kind of slice of life illustrations.
Yeah.
Throughout the credits, it's showing like, how their families come together. Even, Marco was in a scuba outfit and went down to like have dinner with, Luca's family. They're each, growing. You see Julia's mother and Luca getting to connect with all of the kids and sharing his identity with them and them being fascinated. And you see Alberto as he's growing and helping out Marco and also making new friends. So they did give us a lot of snippets, and some of it, I think, as the credits went on, you saw them get a little bit older in the illustration. So I think that there is room for a sequel, but I don't necessarily want a sequel unless they have a story that's really worth telling.
Yeah.
And because this movie in particular had a very sweet innocence about it, being that they are just like small children, I don't know that I necessarily want to see them, older, because obviously there's going to be a lot more complicated things for them to overcome. And yeah, again, if they can make it as endearing, I guess, but I don't know how they can pull it off. The designs were so cute. They're so cute.
I get what you mean. I mean, if they were to do a sequel, or maybe it could be like a Christmas special or something like that would be cool to see how they interact during the holidays. But it's kind of like how Sunflower was saying, like, I wouldn't mind seeing them as teenagers and just showing like how their lives are different now because Luca, he's been traveling the world and whatnot. And I'll just, I know you had kind of said something similar when we did our review for Raya and the Last Dragon, where it's just like you didn't want to see a sequel for that movie because it was fine just the way that it is. And I agree that not every movie does need a sequel, but I'm just always one of those type of people where it's just like if something is really good, I would love to see a sequel for it. And if something is good to the point where it doesn't need a sequel, then I mean that's okay too. I mean, to each their own.
I mean, I think that especially with the Disney Plus platform, they've created a lot more Pixar shorts that give you a follow-up story to a lot of the Pixar movies. They have ones for Up, for I don't know if there was one for Ratatouille. They've had one for Soul.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of little shorts that have followed the movies. And in comparison to some of the other like animated shorts that they have, and even the like short films that they have on Disney Plus, I feel like those little Pixar sequel shorts, they never really like hold a substantial story. It's more like, oh, here you go, you can see these familiar characters for like 5 more minutes.
yeah. Give you a little snippet of what the characters are doing, but it's no overall story to make you sink your teeth into it. It's just here are these characters, and we know that you're fans of these characters. You were fans of the movie, so we hope that you enjoyed it. So like that's what I was saying. Like if they wanted to do something for the holidays, like maybe do I could see them doing like a Halloween short where they're going like they go to another town or something, and they're in their sea monster form, and it's like people wouldn't be afraid of them because it's Halloween. So yeah, I mean, all in all, my final rating for this movie, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. That's what I'll give this for this movie. Sunflower, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I'll probably give it a 9 too. I don't really see anything wrong with it. But I gave a 10 to Up, so because that's my favorite Pixar movie. So I'm gonna
that's a good choice.
9. Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing. I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
Nice. Hey, so that's a solid 9. Okay, I like that. Like usually when I do these reviews with Trav and D, it's like the ratings are all over the place. So it's awesome to have everybody on the same page. And I know that once they see this review, they're probably going to be like, hey, well, you can just have them come up there and do stuff with you, and we can just relax. And guys, if y'all are watching this and y'all feel that way, that's cool. Like, I don't need y'all either. Let me stop. But with that being said, thank you everybody for watching our review for Luca, Enduring Sunflower. Let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at before we let you go.
So I'm endurance.sunflower at Instagram. So that's where you can follow me at.
Thank you. Becca?
On Instagram, you can follow me at River Moriarty.
Cool. And you know where you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at King Benji _Banks. On Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching our review for Luca. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Keep that pinky up and stay positive. Peace. Thank you for watching a brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure that you hit that like button and you subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content on our channel. Make sure you check out our podcast where we release new episodes every Tuesday, and the video of that episode is uploaded on Friday. And you can find new episodes of our podcast on all podcast platforms. Make sure you follow all the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks social media accounts at Leveling Up Banks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, we have a Patreon. If you're feeling generous and would love to donate to us, it's at Leveling Up Banks. And huge shout out to our patrons. We really appreciate you and thank you for the support. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.